Bayern were largely frustrated. They didn't create too many opportunities. There, of course, was a Luis Diaz opportunity in the 3rd minute, and then nothing till after the 40th. And the day had been progressing well for Borussia Mönchengladbach. The issue with that is it becomes tiring, especially when you don't have an out ball. And in the end, it was just the tired legs and the persistence of Bayern Munich that the game slipped away from Mönchengladbach. And I say that as kindly as possible. The game just slipped away. Had an opportunity to get themselves back in it. But again, tired legs and exhausted Mönchengladbach, both physically and mentally, couldn't make the most of the penalty. And in the end, the scoreline will show a comfortable win, 13th for Bayern Munich of the season, no real issues. But I think the truth is, for a large spell of this game, it did not go to plan.
No, absolutely not. One thing we have seen is a big week for young Lennart Karl. Obviously, his first Champions League start midweek, gets a goal there, comes on today, scores another great goal. And
I was raving about his Champions League goal against Bruges. This one, similarly well taken. Gets a ball in space, just seems to know exactly where he is, exactly where everybody else on the park is, finds his space, finds his spot, and produces a finish of just world-class quality. And again, you just have to remind yourself that we are talking about a 17-year-old here. The maturity with which he just kind of understands everything about him, sees it as it develops, and then the execution was just something to behold.
I suppose one of the scary things that we have to mention, seeing as though Bayern do have 13 straight wins, is that Jamal Musiala is almost ready to come back as well. They've been doing all of this without him. Bayern Munich with a 3-0 win. He's actually standing by now, though, with Joe Scally, so let's get word from Archie and Joe.
Kay, thank you very much. Joe, commiserations on the defeat. I know you came off the bench, but how did you see the game overall?
Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult against them, even when it's 11 versus 11. But when we went down one man, it just made it more difficult. They just, were all over us. And, yeah, they're the best team at the moment, I think, in the world. So it was always going to be a tough task.
It seemed like the team came together a bit more after the red card. It seemed like it brought everyone together. How did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a game plan to stay compact. And I think, that was the way that we had to play against them. So, yeah, when you go down one man, of course, you maybe are extra defensive, and it seems that way. So I thought overall in the first half it was good, and then when they just keep coming, it's difficult.
You've started every game this season apart from today. Did the coach say why he was rotating you out today?
No, I had some problems during the week with my ankle and knee, but it was just that.
Just speaking to the local media around here, they say they have a lot of respect for how you came over here as a teenager and have established yourself as a Bundesliga regular. They also said that they were maybe expecting you to take another step in your development in the last year or so. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. When I first came, it was a team that was playing Champions League, so it right away makes you seem better and the team seem better. So I think, if people look at it that way, it could seem that way, but in the end, I think if you look at statistically the way I've been playing, it's much better than every year. So,
just finally, World Cup is at the end of this year, of course. I'm sure that is your dream, to reach it. What do you have to do to get back into the plans of Mauricio Pochettino?
Yeah, I think just keep playing consistently defensively. Of course, also as a team, it helps when we're winning. Obviously, when we're in last place, it's very difficult. So just, trying to get some wins with the team and just keep continuing to play strong.
Joe, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers. That's Joe Scally there, Kay, and just bringing in Kevin Diks now. Kevin, thanks for coming back in the rain. Kevin, first of all, not the result that you were looking for, but there was a lot to be encouraged by in the performance, I think. How did you see it?
Yeah, now it's a bit hard to look back and see that we did great maybe for the first 55 minutes. Because you want points as a football player. We're in the position we are in, we need points. And, it's going to be a tough day, especially after the red card. But I think we showed heart. And that's what we agreed on this week, that we have to be aggressive and show heart and fight for each other. And that's what we did, I think, really well. But it wasn't enough for points.
I know this may sound like a weird question, but did the red card help in a way to bring the team together?
sometimes you have to dig really deep. You know, you have to go really deep as a football player to get back where you want to be. And maybe this is a moment. We've been in tough situation before, but this is again a tough situation. Playing against number one with 1 man less. But I think we showed hard, and yeah. Now again, it's hard to say to take a lot of positives now, but yeah, the next few days we will do that.
Positive is next week you don't have to play a team that's won every game this season, at least. What is the next step on Gladbach's journey this season? Because from the outside looking in, it looks like you're in a relegation battle.
Yeah, of course. The table says that now, but honestly, I don't think we are a team for relegation, and I think it's time to show that. But first, we have the cup this week, and then we look back on Bundesliga.
Kevin, thank you.
No problem.
Kevin Diks there, Kate. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Archie. Obviously, some difficult questions that Archie's had to put to both of those guys today, and he's done a fine job in doing so. With Joe Scally, that's what's so difficult, isn't it, Shaka? Because all eyes are on you to do something, but it's so much easier to play better when the team's winning and the team's doing better.
And Joe Scally makes that point. And we talk about this game being a game of confidence, certainly as it applies to players. And Scally makes the point that when the team is playing well, when you're winning games, everybody plays with a confidence. Now all of a sudden you're not, and you find yourself rooted at the bottom of the table. That confidence is hard to come by because you're wondering where the next result is going to come from. Who's going to be persons brave enough to step up to lead this team? Everybody's looking around for some kind of leadership, for some kind of example, and it's hard to come by. And when you find yourself in that situation, it's really difficult to dig yourself out, because for Mönchengladbach, who may not be used to relegation battles, you start the season as poorly as they have, it's a long way back. You have to keep winning games with a consistency and expect so many around you to lose games with a similar consistency. And that's a tough ask. Mönchengladbach have themselves in a very difficult position, and you need something to spark. Now, as I said before the game, maybe a result here is exactly what Mönchengladbach would need. What they don't need was to be embarrassed. While the scoreline is clearly not one that you phone home about, I think the performance, largely for an hour, especially with 10 men, is one that you can feel proud of, one that maybe you can build on. So maybe Mönchengladbach can take something away from this. And to your point, Kay, as you made before the game, to a lot of the sentiment in Mönchengladbach before a ball is kicked, the season gets started next week. They have at least a resolute hour that they can now hopefully build on.
Yes, absolutely. As for Bayern Munich, they're absolutely flying. That's 13 straight wins in all competitions this season. Top of the table in the Bundesliga. Borussia Mönchengladbach down there at the bottom end, as has been well established. But as for Bayern Munich, it's just another day and another win, Archie.
It is another day, another win. And look, I think their journey to the stadium was also reflected in the game that they ended up playing. They got on the pitch, it took them a while to get going, but ultimately they reached their destination of yet another win. And for Lennart Karl to come off the bench as well and do what he did in midweek, there are not many defenders now who are going to be trying to let him on to his left foot. I mean, generally, you've seen how one-footed he is in the best way, I mean, as well. Gareth Bale was tremendously one-footed, and look what happened to him. And I'm also not saying that Lennart Karl's about to go on and have the career that Gareth Bale's had. But we are seeing some very promising signs. And when you have a moment like that, when you chop onto your left foot and you see the ball just flying into the top corner as a viewer, and just seeing the way that Moritz Nicolas, the goalkeeper, didn't move. I mean, that never happened to Shaka Hislop. I know that much is for sure. But to other goalkeepers, we were used to seeing it. We are used to seeing that moment where you just watch the ball fly. And as a football fan, just as a neutral, it is something quite special to behold. From a Bayern perspective as well, the fact that the substitutions which Vincent Kompany made at half-time worked, that can only be seen as a positive. And I'm about to get a Bayern player come in with me here as well, in Rafael Guerreiro, one of the goal scorers who came on at half-time. Yes. Enjoying your underlapping full-back role now?
Yeah, of course, I enjoy a lot to be on the pitch and to play for Bayern. It's amazing, the team, and I think the level we have, actually, it's really nice, and every player can make the difference. So it's really important to have so many players like that on the team.
I was just talking about Lennart Karl as somebody who's tremendously left-footed. I would put you in that category as well.
Yeah, it's something different when he took the ball and shoot. It's just amazing to watch him. And of course, he did it in training before, so it's not like he came from nowhere and just do it. He's training really hard, and now everyone can see it.
How is it for you to play on the right-hand side? What do you have to do differently with your game?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's better to play on the right side for me, because when I took the ball, I'm always looking in front, and I'm directly on my left foot also to go inside and to make the difference, to be active for my partners also. And I know I can play for Michael also on the side, and he will do the same thing. So when we are all left-footed on the right side, it's also nice sometimes, like Lenny, me and Michael, we are trying to make some combination also, and it was really nice, yeah.
Final question. Vincent Kompany has signed a new contract this week. I see a little smile there from your reaction. What do you think his standout quality as a coach is? You've worked with many coaches, of course.
Yeah, I think the most, his quality is to be really close from all the players, to talk really well to us, and he is always positive. Also, of course, when it's not good, he will say it, but he is always positive, and I think he brings the team to another level, yeah.
Raphael, thank you very much. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
And a safe journey home as well. They can't take that for granted after the traffic that Bayern encountered today. But yes, Kay, back to you, I think. What were we saying? Tremendous left feet?
Tremendous
Rafael
left
Guerreiro
feet.
certainly has
I'll tell you
one
what you
as
were
well.
saying. I'll tell you what you were saying, Archie, because nobody's protecting poor Lennart Karl today. He's been compared to Iron Robin and now Gareth Bale already at 17 years old. We need to look after him.
We are looking after him, but
we
I
are.
think that excitement is a natural thing. And to be honest, the main thing for Lennart Karl is that he's got Vincent Kompany in his corner. And I'll tell you what, I don't think there's anyone better to have in your corner. And I come back to what I was saying before about after the Hoffenheim game, when Lennart Karl didn't have a good game, which is natural. When you are 17 years of age, you need to find your way. And Lennart Karl has come back since then, had a little bit of time out the side. He's come back and he's shown, look, I am ready for this level. And how?
Yeah, taking a look at that and just hearing what Archie said, that tells you about the good management of Vincent Kompany, giving him his chance, realising, OK, maybe he just needs a bit of time, but then letting him come back in after having that breakaway.
And it's a big step up for any player coming into a team like Bayern Munich, regardless of your age, and finding your feet, getting your nerves settled, understanding your role within that team, understanding the role of everybody else around you, let alone for a 17-year-old to do that. But Vincent Kompany recognizes struggles and continue to support him, continue to give him those opportunities. And now he's being repaid. Being repaid in two of the most outstanding goals you will see in the space of a week, particularly by a teenager. We were looking at the Club Brugge goal before the game started, and I said, if you're Club Brugge, there's absolutely nothing you could do about it. And you're wondering, what can I do? What could I have done better to stop that? Short answer is nothing. From a Mönchengladbach perspective, you look at this, and again you ask yourself, what could I have done to stop this? And similarly, I'm not sure that there's much more that Borussia Mönchengladbach defensively could have done. That first touch and acceleration by Karl into space and onto the ball to pick out the finish, nobody can anticipate, nobody, I think, can defend against. And then the finish in itself was just so exact. There's nothing any goalkeeper could do about it. So you just have to hold your hands up and say, listen, this is a special talent. On his day, he will be unplayable. Certainly on the evidence of that moment, there is nothing that anybody, Mönchengladbach or anybody else could have done to stop that.
Yeah, a massive week for Lennart Karl. I'm not going to compare him to anyone, OK? Look after the kid.
God, call him Maradona.
No, absolutely not. Messing. No. Brilliant stuff from Lennart Karl. Great week for him.